Hey, kia ora everyone, it's Chris here from Bayleys. So the latest CVs have just been released by Auckland Council. Figured we'd give you a quick briefing on what you can expect. So first off, if you are interested in finding out the CV for your property, so you can access that through the council's website. We'll pop a link in the description and it will give you both the latest CV and the prior CV, so you can have a little bit of a comparison. Just by way of background, so these CVs are the council's estimated value of the property as at 1 May 2024, so about a year ago. The market has, however, been reasonably flat since that time. In terms of changes that we've seen in the latest CVs, so Auckland Council's reporting residential property on average CVs have gone down by 9%, although there is a bit of a mix around the region. So in fringe areas like Hibiscus Coast, sort of Whangaproa, Upper Harbour and Franklin, they've been relatively more resilient than central areas. As for other asset classes, so lifestyle on average went up 4%, industrial property on average up 5%, and then other commercial properties on average down 5%. So a little bit of a mix as to what's going on. Now in terms of the CVs, there's a couple of things just to sort of get your head around. The first is that the CVs are generally not the best point of reference if you're looking to sell the property or to buy. The reason for this is that although the council puts heaps of care and all their professionals put a lot of care into getting the CVs right, they are doing it in like a bulk basis, and you'll realise this because in most cases they wouldn't have actually physically inspected your property. And so this might mean that if you're selling your property, the CV could be different from what you might be able to sell it for. Common reasons for this is maybe your property has some unique aspects that weren't apparent to the council and its professionals when they were doing the CV assessments. Condition might be better or worse than average, or you might have undertaken some work to the property that hasn't been picked up by the council. And a common one would be if you've done refurbishments that didn't actually need building consent, in which case the valuers wouldn't actually know that it had changed. What this means is that if you're looking to sell a property, you're best to chat to a real estate agent, and they'll be able to give you a better sense of their appraisal, having actually gone through the property and using the latest data as at today. Second point is how CVs work. So there's a misconception generally that if CVs go up, the council kind of takes in more rates overall, which is not actually correct. So the council's sort of total level of rates is fixed, but they use the CVs to basically distribute the rates across the properties in the region. What this means is that if your property has gone up on average more than other properties, then you will see a slightly higher proportion of the rates associated with your property. So I guess that's a little bit in the weeds, but I guess the important thing is that the CVs by themselves, if they go up or down, doesn't mean that the council is getting more or less rates overall. Now the third point is that there is an objection process for the CVs if you believe that the CV is incorrect for your property. Now reasons that you might want to do this, the most likely reason would be that the CV is significantly higher than you would expect, which means you'd pay more rates than you would expect. So you might want to object to get the CV lower. The other reason is that some parties in the market, and we wouldn't really agree with this, but some parties do use the CV as like a benchmark if they're selling their property, and they might want to get it higher for that reason. Although we would argue that better quality information means that the CVs are less important for that purpose these days. But put that aside, you might want to object to it. Now in terms of the objection process, within the rates notice there will be a due date for objections. We understand that that's typically around 6 weeks after the publication date. So that's just something to be aware of. If you miss the due date, basically you won't be able to object. Now within the objection, you'll need to provide an estimate of the capital value, land value and improvement value for the property, so i.e. like your own view on the CVs. However, if you're looking to do that, the most robust way to sort of have that argument is if you've got advice from a registered valuer. And if you wanted to get advice of that nature, we'd recommend you touch base with the Bayleys Valuation team, and they'll generally be able to help and basically provide you a much stronger argument than if you just did it yourself. So to wrap up, hope this video has been helpful just to get your head around those latest CVs. 2 points of contact though, so if you're looking to potentially sell your property in the short term, feel welcome to contact your local Bayleys team. They'd be super happy to give you an appraisal. Similarly, if you're looking to potentially object to your CV, feel welcome to touch base with the Bayleys Valuation team. With that said, we'll see you next time.